So now you were the one who gave the final interview with Tom Girardi on your podcast, Schmoozin' with Forouzan. Would you have guessed that he was in mental decline? Because that came a few months after, was that he had to be placed in an old folks home or an assisted care facility because he was diagnosed with Alzheimer's and dementia. I believe that came like January of the following year, and your interview was in October. So it was literally just a few months after.
I've had this question asked me before. Here's how I'd answer it. Were there signs and indications of him going up there in the age? Yes, and I'll tell you what they were. The first thing I noticed is he seemed frail. The jacket that he put on was way too big for him. And it looked like walking was not the easiest thing in the world. During the actual interview process, sometimes I got the feeling he didn't quite understand the question I asked. But to be fair, that can come from a bunch of different reasons. Now, do I take from that and take it all the way to, his some kind of a senile issue is what caused him to rip people off? No, I don't go that far.
No.
You have to truly be out of your mind to not realize that withholding funds from a client is a problem. They drill that into us. In terms of like the State Bar of California, there's two things that get the State Bar involved. When clients complain that an attorney hasn't communicated with me for a year, that tends to lead to all sorts of issues. But the number one thing that the State Bar that's supposed to cause alarms at the State Bar clearly didn't always work out. But the number one thing is called commingling of funds. In other words, you're my client, I'm your attorney, and I commingle our funds. My law firm, I have a bank account exclusively for my client's money. It's a trust account. It's not my money. The money that goes into that trust account is my client's funds. I am only allowed to take my fees and costs out of there. I can't take that money and then use it to pay bills and this and that. I can just take my fee. I can use my fee to pay bills, but I can't commingle your money with mine. That is disbarment 101. That's like lawyer ethics 101. So to suggest that this guy didn't realize what he was doing, I think, unfortunately, he knew.
Yeah, I mean, the allegations go back decades. Like it's not even, I mean, the mental decline, I would say, his wife has come forth or his ex-wife has come forth and said that it happened within the past, like over the past 3, possibly 5 years is when he started to really show decline, specifically after a car accident where he had some traumatic brain injuries. But the allegations go back decades that it just, to me, it seemed like this was the scheme that he had kind of kept going for a really long time. And it was only recently that it sort of caught up to him. She says that when he would talk to people, he was kind of like on loop and he would kind of tell some of the same stories over and over. And it kind of just felt like he was pulling from an old catalog of memories. And it wasn't really a lot of new information that he was giving. Did you get that same impression when you interviewed him?
Yes, actually. I did get the sense that some of the stuff that he was saying to me was regurgitated. Some of the stuff that he was saying to me was, comes from something he had previously said, and maybe it worked with the crowd, so he chose to use it again. That's fine. I do that. I think everyone does that.
Yeah.
I don't know if that rises to the level of saying, hey, I'm sorry you got burns over 90% of your body, but we're not going to give you your money.